Hey, what's up, world? Bobby Pin here with another celebrity artist spotlight. Today, I have my big sis, Miss Nicci Gilbert, formerly of the group Brownstone. We know her music. She is also a TV producer from the bottom up, R&B divas, and she has her own production company. So we're gonna get into sis and all of her hard work as well as her activism. If you are just joining us this week, it is Celebrity Spotlight Week. So yesterday we had on Jawan Harris and Tiffany Evans. Monday night I had on Donnell Jones. They all have been singing, so please go check out the Celebrity Spotlight playlist right here on IGTV. Of course, you can always catch these replays on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/thebobbypin. And for everybody tuning in live right now, hi, thank you for joining me. Please feel free to go ahead and support me and my work by buying a badge. Not a lot of money, but it goes a long way. Not to mention you look really cool in the chat. So go ahead and show some love by buying a badge. And without further ado, we're gonna welcome in my big sis, Miss Nicci Gilbert. Share with a friend right now. Hey.
Hi, pretty lady.
How are you, big sis?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's always a pleasure to connect with you, even if it has to be virtually. Hug.
You know.
Sorry?
I said, how are you?
I'm good. I am really torn. Okay, this week is kind of like a hell week, but in a good way. So we've got the BET Awards pressers going over 2 days. It's actually Revolt Summit as well, and I'm doing some recaps. So I am like stretched to the max. But you can't ask God to eat and complain when the plate's full. Sorry?
Be grateful.
Exactly. So I'm here. It keeps kind of cutting out, and I wonder if it's because we're talking over each other. So let's see.
Or what I can do if you want is me to go get some headphones.
That might help.
That might help.
But I actually hear you fine when I'm not over talking. But if you want to get headphones, that might cut it out. I don't know. We can hang on a second if you don't mind.
Okay, cool beans. 1 second.
All right. Again, thank you guys for joining us. I am so excited. Like I said, we got Miss Nicci Gilbert on here. She is the master at the pivot in this entertainment industry. So I'm really excited to get some advice and wisdom from her, as well as, like I said, talk about this upcoming election and some other things that is on her heart and mind. So if you are just joining us, like I said, we've been doing this all week. Go ahead and check out my IGTV playlist, Celebrity Spotlight, and see who you've missed or who's coming up. And if you really, really want to show some love, go ahead and grab you a badge. All right, click that buy button down there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I see some of Nicci's fans here. I see some of my supporters and friends. How y'all doing? It's hump day, guys. We are halfway through the week.
All right, let's see.
Yes.
Now, I might lose you as I try to connect it.
Oh, because you have to switch off. Let's see. Hey, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Yes. Okay. Go ahead. Let me get these hearts. Give us some hearts. I appreciate everybody for
All right,
in.
I think we're back in action.
Yes,
okay.
That makes a big difference.
Can you hear me now? Good stuff.
Yes. All right, Miss Nicci Gilbert. So I told them a little bit that you are a woman of many hats. You are a Jill of all trades. We know you as a musician and a producer and an entrepreneur. So tell us a little bit about how you got your start in the industry, because some people may not know that. I don't think you were a singer originally, right?
Well, okay. So in high school and in college, I wanted to act more than I wanted to sing because both my parents were musicians. So, naturally, it's like if your mom or dad is a doctor, you're like, you know what, maybe I should study law, right? Yeah. So I wasn't really an actor. I think my first professional career was, in fact, as a singer. But in my mind and in my heart and in my spirit, I really wanted to be an actor. And that was the thing, I was a big fan of The Cosby Show. I was a big fan of Different World. I started out, I guess the first thing I was a writer. Writer was my first love, absolutely.
Nice. So,
yes.
Fast forward.
And not writer like you. I'm sorry, not writer like Bobby Pin. writer like stories and stuff like that, not
Well,
journalists.
actually, let's talk about that because
Okay,
I think again, you are evidence that we don't really have to pick or be boxed in.
that's it.
So, I'm interested in music as well. I've been doing a little songwriting, poetry, a little singing, or what have you. And I've gotten a couple of comments of like, but wait, aren't you like a media person? And I'm like, why do I have to pick? Honestly, it's all storytelling, whether it's a fiction
It
novel
is. It
or a
is.
really well written article or like a screenplay. It's all writing and
Yeah,
storytelling.
shit, look what's happening in politics right now. They're telling a whole lot of stories, okay? So,
Listen,
inventing a bunch of shit. So, yeah, it's all the same, pretty
yeah.
much.
Which that actually was a great segue because you are doing a lot with your production company, No Ego
Mm,
TV.
yes.
So you got your talk show, She Speaks Live. Y'all keep it really
Mm-hmm.
real, or we, because I was the
Mm-hmm.
guest.
Yes.
But
And we'll
we
be
keep,
back.
yes, for sure. But yeah, so talk to me about how important it is now for us influencers, celebrities, to use our platforms and use our voices to make change and like really talk about what matters.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I think back in the day, you always felt like celebrities were more low key, and you only really see them when they come out of their fabulous homes and come to the red carpet to promote the film. I think now, based on everything that's going on in the world, you have an obligation if you have a platform to really speak up and be vocal about what you see, right? I think too many of us in the past have died with the truth in us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you have artists like Prince and Michael and Whitney and all of these amazing, I just wonder, Bob Marley, like I wonder, so Nina Simone, like I want to know what their voices would be saying in this time, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that because I believe that we are all, especially those of us who are in the creative space and we're used to sort of putting our feelings into music or art or words or whatever it is. I think that's a special gift. And
Yeah.
I think that when you plant those seeds through your music, through your art, through your words, through IG, when you speak up about it, you are in fact planting seeds. And they try to bury our opinions, they try to bury our intelligence, and what basically tell us what we're seeing is a lie and it's not
Yeah.
true. But just like Prince said what he said about the record companies, and now so many artists today are like, you know what, Prince said it, and this person said it. So we're planting seeds. So I think as it relates to politics, the state of Black America, we have an obligation as people with these platforms to speak the truth, tell the truth, shame the devil, and don't die with the truth in you.
That's the thing right there. Don't die with the truth in you.
Yeah.
um, so talk to me too. You've been very vocal throughout this election process, even in the
Mm-hmm.
primaries. Talk to me about where you think we are. I don't know. It's a really broad question. Just talk to me about election day. November 3rd is coming up. How important is
Yeah.
it for us to use our
So
voices?
I think I think the beautiful thing about what's happened with Donald Trump, I think a lot of people I tend to always ask the universe, what is it that I'm supposed to learn from this, no matter how shitty the situation is, no matter how much you want to flip a table, throw a bottle. What is it that God is bringing us to our knees to make us pay attention to, right? And I think that the biggest and best thing that's come out of this 4 years of 45 is that it has really awakened a lot of people to what is happening in politics. People who had zero interest in politics, right? I'm not gonna get on here and pretend like I know as much as a Christine Beatty or even my husband on another level. Just certain people who know a whole lot about it. But I am interested. I am engaged. I am committed to finding out more. And I think that the best thing about this election is that there are far more people voting than there ever have been before. I think people are voting from a more educated, informed place versus just going down the ballot and picking a bunch of people, right? And I think that resources like ballotready.org, conversations like the ones we have on She Speaks Live, when you think um, it's all just a whole bunch of rhetoric and a whole bunch of agendas and vitriol, then just quiet yourself, do the homework of really doing the research on these people and figuring out who they are, and go make a change. Because your vote will do that, no matter what anybody's telling you. It is a lie. People lost their lives People had to own real estate and own property to vote. Like there's so many things that they did in the past to oppress us and to prevent us from doing it. People don't stop you from doing shit that you is not for your best interest, right? If
Listen,
they have a ill intention for you.
yeah. Or likewise, I say they don't make anything accessible for you that's good for you. Everything that's good for you is a lot
Hmm.
harder to attain, and that definitely goes for knowledge. And we have to seek our
Absolutely.
own. And
Put
like
it
you
in a
said,
book.
use
That's
our
what they say. Want to keep it from black people, put it in a book. And that's, record contracts. I'm reaping the definitely not the benefits, the lessons right now about being 23 years old when I signed my record contract and just being excited about it and seeing the shiny things and being distracted
with
by the
Michael
shiny
Jackson, by the
things and
way.
with Michael Jackson, right? And then that was another reason to just be like, hey, it's Michael Jackson, so I don't give a shit what you're talking about. This only comes around once in a lifetime. So here, sign. Who at 23 knows what the hell they're doing, right?
Yeah.
I don't regret anything that's happened in my career, but what I have found is that as I am looking back at some of those agreements and I'm looking at how I'm still making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for a company, and I'm not seeing those dividends, 26 years later,
Yeah.
it's because I didn't read, I wasn't informed, and there weren't enough people in my corner as a young 23-year-old girl with aspirations to get a deal with Michael Jackson to really explain those things to me. So I
Yeah.
use every opportunity that I have to do that.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think now? Fast forward to 2020, where a lot of young artists are actually passing up these deals. And if anything, they're just
Yeah.
creating distribution deals with the labels where they're more
Yeah.
so partners.
Hmm.
What do you think 23-year-old Nicci would do knowing what you know now in today's?
Listen, if I knew, people used to say that, and I used to be like, oh, whatever, you owe. If I knew then what I knew now, if I was your age in my brain, um, I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. I think that the beautiful thing about social media and streaming and technology, the blessing in all of that is that it does afford you the opportunity for more transparency. And when you have to be transparent about shit, you're less likely to rob artists. But it's just like, for example, back in the day, there was the Inquirer or like this trash magazine or that trash magazine, and they could say whatever the hell they want to say about artists. But nowadays, artists can get on their platforms and be like, listen, this is what really had happened. So at least you have two perspectives, so you can
Yeah.
make an educated decision. So I think it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Nice. And you're definitely benefiting from it. Like I said, you're building
Yes.
your own production company. You're
Yes.
championing specifically women in behind the scenes roles and more leadership roles within entertainment. So talk
Hmm.
to me more about that passion.
Absolutely. That is the most important thing in my life right now. There's nothing that takes precedence over this fight for worth, WIRF, women in reality film and television. There's nothing other than my health and the health of my family, of course. This foundation, From the Bottom Up Foundation, which, nobody said, hey, you should set up a foundation. Well, actually, somebody did. A sister, a woman of color. Shout out, Gail Perry
Nice.
Nation in
Yeah.
Detroit. And she said, that is your foundation from the bottom up. So we launched From the Bottom Up a few years ago. We've done a few town hall discussions, talking to young girls about all issues that impact women and girls. But what I have found is from R&B divas to Soul Kittens Cabaret to all of the content that I've created, so often there is no one to teach you the business of the behind the scenes. So I went from being in the music industry and not understanding how that works, right? And not having someone really sit me down and explain the contracts and the agreements and how you move forward in the music industry, to being disenchanted by that because I felt robbed, because I felt raped, because I felt like I was working for somebody and not getting paid. Okay, you wonder why Prince puts the word slave on the side of his face. Well, you're making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and you're not benefiting from it. Your family's not benefiting from it. So I became
Yeah.
disenchanted with music, but decided, let's tell the story of the struggle. Let's tell the story of how this happens to a lot of artists. And so we started working on that, and then I learned, okay, you know what? If you don't own the content that you create, which is a very, very, very important word, then that narrative and that story that you want to tell is diluted. because it is being captured by a culturally incompetent white male lens that holds all the power. So you have all these legacies that you bring to the table and start doing television and film, and then you realize, oh, I don't control this narrative. So what worth is, and the foundation is it's an opportunity for women who have been through the bullshit, right? Let's not sugarcoat, the world is real, real place right now.
Yeah.
Women who have been through the trials and lost and hit rock bottom, who are now learning as they go along and climb back to the top, having the opportunity to share that with up and coming young sisters like yourselves. So Bobby Pin doesn't have to be in court. Do you know how many times I've had to go to court to protect my
I believe
intellectual
you.
property? And it's not because you don't copyright your stuff. It's because at the end of the day, court is a very expensive undertaking. And if you're going to prove something, you got to get a good lawyer and you got to go to court. And a lot of times, because we are set up to fail, we don't have those resources
Come on
available to
now.
us. So Fight
Yeah.
for Worth is an opportunity for us to have more of those resources and more of those conversations, and stop making it all about Louboutins and high paying jobs and all that other shit, and really make it about speaking to the people who are creating this content that is ultimately dictating our culture, you know?
Yes. Literally. Yes. Because and that's something else that we're seeing through the political rhetoric and the actions that we're seeing played out. A lot of people who are racist, for lack of a better word, are just ignorant. They only know what they've seen presented to them through the media. And to your point, it's because we don't control those narratives. We don't control those images. So I definitely wanted you to speak on that and let everybody know to support Fight for Worth, okay? From the
Yes,
bottom up
from the bottom up
foundation.org. Go
foundation.org.
learn. I got you, big sis. I know what you
Thank
up
you. I
to.
love
I
you.
also
Thank
know you
you.
got some merch right now. Can we talk about that?
So yes, what I'm wearing is the antithesis, the anti-angry black woman. Every time we speak up about things that we want to have resolved, or places where we feel we need equality, equal representation, we're angry. You know, you look at our Madam Vice President, in 4 years going to be President, Kamala
Yes,
Harris, I'm
yes.
sorry. But when you look at that amazing woman of color and you look at the debate and you see how she had to sort of really kind of restrain herself from that rhythm that just makes us dope. She had to hold herself back for fear that people would be, oh, there she goes. She an angry black woman.
Yeah.
She stuck at her teeth. You know what I'm saying? And that's bullshit. But unfortunately, which is why I could never be in politics, because my mouth is too bad and my attitude when it comes to certain things, I just don't tolerate it. But I hate that we have to be viewed in such a narrow lens. And every time we disagree with something or we state facts, and because we got rhythm in our souls, it come out a little, you know what, then we're angry. And it is
Exactly.
passion. It is not angry. And then also 90s R&B. I'm a really big advocate for making sure a lot of artists from the 90s and beyond, and prior to that, we just are really dope, creative people. And I think we've really gotten a shitty deal. Like artists now, you know, they know based on our struggles and based on the shit we had to go through that you can just put your stuff online and stream your own stuff. I look up the Tory Lanez single got 500 million streams, and I'm like, well, where's that revenue? Where is it addressed in my contract? So thank God. I will say this. Let me say this. I will say that Sony has been great about answering my questions, responding to my emails. Hey, Nicci, this is what, you know what I mean? And these
Yeah.
people that I'm talking to did not create the contract that I signed 26 years ago. You understand?
Okay.
So I want to be very clear. I see folks tweeting copies of contracts and all that. I don't think that it has to be a contentious exchange. We just want to know what's up, you know.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of deviated from what your original question was, but
Well, we're getting the why behind the merch line. Give me that
yeah.
for a
So the
second. Let
why
me make
behind the
sure
merch is
I'm not
90
cut
keep
off.
alive, and we're like, what the hell? We're not on tour right now because we was touring up some stuff. Bobby, you saw us on that bro singing them songs with them people,
Yes.
right?
Essence Fest last
We were
year. Oh my
touring.
gosh.
So it started off as just extra merch, and I'm like, shit, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Why not continue to create? So statement wear.
You know you got to get your hustle on. I ain't even mad at it.
Oh, hey,
Speaking
multi
of 90s,
hyphenate, baby. It's an extension of Curvato.
Yeah. Oh, listen, okay. So fashion line, Nikki. I'm afraid this is gonna cut off. Can we come right back live? I need to switch phones
Oh,
because this is gonna
sure.
cut off, and I don't have time for that.
Okay, cool beans. No problem.
So we were talking about 90s R&B, Nikki, and I'm sure you've noticed a little trend here with my lives, where I kind of get my guests to sing or rap or something. And
Oh,
I
here we
mean,
go.
literally, I studied you. You, Coco, and maybe Tamia. Like, y'all are, and Brandy. The four of y'all are like
Ooh,
my,
what an honor. Oh my God. Don't look now, honey. Don't have me trying to, ooh, those are my favorites. All of them.
are you talking about what an honor? Girl, I know you know that you're like royalty. You're vocal royalty, period. These other girls try to be you. You're the blueprint. So can we get a little tune? It can be something
Oh,
that
thank
is
you,
yours
baby.
or maybe a cover.
I'll just, sing the song that introduced me to everybody. Or what? I mean, are there any requests?
Okay,
It's the
what?
jukebox.
This is the
Okay.
first ever
I'll do it if you
Untitled
love
Artist
me. No,
Spotlight
not
guest
jukebox.
opportunity. Y'all better dive in these DMs right
Yes.
now. Get in the comments. What do y'all want to hear?
What y'all want to hear? Thank you, Chris. I see you. I love you guys too. All right, well then I'll sing hmm. What do I sing? Okay, I'll sing if you love me. Hell, I'm doing too much thinking. Kiss and tell. Oh, that's if you love me. Somebody said if you love me. Okay. I don't wanna rain on this parade, but I'm starting to question love that was made. I'm not looking for just an affair. I want a love that is based on the truth, not just dare. You will not hurt my pride if right now you decide that you are not ready to settle down. But if you want my heart, then it's time that you start to act like you're mine in the light and the dark. If you love me,
Say it.
if you trust me,
Do
if
it.
you want me.
Show it. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. Y'all know I had to
You're
know
very
that y'all gotta
welcome.
tune in.
That's okay. Y'all can run on over to 90s R&B merch or 90s R&B, Brownstone official, and get your 90s R&B merch if you repping for the 90s R&B. Holla at your girl.
Yes. Show love. Show love. Listen, all right, so I was on YouTube last week and
Yes.
something made me want to hear that song. And there's a
Hmm.
Keith Murray like remix, a whole
Oh
version
yeah,
of
there's a with Keith Murray and Craig Mack and yeah, awesome. It was a
it's a
If You Love Me
bop. Like,
remix. It's
wait,
so
what?
funny.
How did I not hear that? Like, y'all was
Isn't
doing
that
that
dope?
already?
Yeah, that's dope. It was something we had to fight for, you know. I will never forget that meeting. I was causing trouble from day one. I was sitting in the meeting with Richard Griffiths and Davy Glue and Jerry Greenberg, and I was like, listen, we need a hip hop version of this. It's so big, let's give it some more life. And they were like, if you do this, we'll do that. And I was like, okay, we'll do this. So
Nice. So you were
yeah,
ahead of the
that was a lot
wave.
of fun. Yes, everybody will tell you I was always asking questions, baby.
I love that. I love that. That's something that when I think of like the people I've had an opportunity to connect with, the people that I admire, I
Mm-hmm.
really study y'all. I'm sure you get that. Like when I'm talking to you, I'm like really
Oh,
like taking notes.
you are so
And I
informed.
think that
Yes,
that is so
absolutely.
impressive. Sorry?
I said you are so informed, which is why I love you. You
I
take
try to
you,
be. I try to learn
yeah,
from the best. And I love how even in your youth, you went into these situations open-minded, but prepared
yes,
and equipped and knowledgeable. And
yes,
I just want you to speak a little bit about how important that is, especially like a lot of emerging artists follow me. A lot of people are coming up. So how
yeah.
important is it to like know who you are, know what you're going to stand for, know what you're not going to stand for? What are some of
Yeah.
your experiences with those challenges?
Absolutely. It's everything, right? It's so everything to just know that your foundation, who you are before you get this record deal, who you are before you get these awards and accolades, that is the fiber, that is the foundation of your career. Like who you become when you have money, who you are become when you have popularity, who the hell your friends and people who own your coattails and kissing your ass, excuse my words, once you have the deal, who those people are is far less important than who you are before you go in there. So you have to take the time to really try and develop as much of your character, the foundational part of your character, acting with good intention. Intention is everything. Intention doesn't mean it's always right. Intention means that you are always focused on getting to a positive end game, right? Intention cannot be about self. You know, first part of purpose-driven life, it is not about you. Understand? So you have to understand that you're fighting for a village of people who wish they could be in that situation that you're in, getting a deal or in that. And y'all got it way hell of a lot easier than we had it back in the day, because y'all can sing some shit on YouTube and be discovered in the next hot thing. Popularity rules what is successful these days versus the hard work and the preparing and all that other stuff. That's just as real as it gets. But to any young new artist, all I can say is because the landscape is constantly changing and shifting, right? One day they're streaming, the next day it may be you can just look at somebody and be like, this is what I'm listening to. All of that can change, but the foundation of who you are should always be rooted in good intentions, remembering, taking care of your mama, keeping your family close to you, and giving back to your village, giving back to your community. No matter what else you do, if you keep those as your pillars, you'll be okay, because the other shit gonna change all the time.
Yeah. Talk to me about how you handle conflict in this industry, because I know that's got to be a hard thing. You get really close with colleagues. Actually, yeah, we can ask that. I was gonna say something else. Let me make this point first to what you just said. I have this conversation with my girlfriends a lot about how I feel like in the 90s, the standard was so different for celebrity. You had to be able to act, sing, rap, dance, be funny on cue, like really be a dramatic actor. Like the bar is so low. It's so low. It's so low now.
Yeah, and it's dangerous because check it out. It's a place where popularity dictates what the population consumes. Crack is popular. A lot of other horrible things are popular. And it's like this whole, I don't have a problem with a stripper nowhere. Because at the end of the day, I know that these are women who are doing their best. Some of them are college students. Some of them are mothers trying to feed their children. And we've been dealt such a raw deal. People do what the hell they have to do to make a living. But if you're going to show me an image of a stripper, right, which is very popular on a lot of the reality shows, TV, it's very popular. Being a stripper has become sort of a thing for young girls to sort of look at as aspirational.
All day you see videos of people twerking, so.
Right. So you know what I'm saying? But at least if you're going to use the argument that being a stripper is about empowerment, right? And being a stripper is about women accepting their sexiness, show the ones that are doing it to get an education to become doctors too. Show the ones that are doing it because they got kids at home. Don't just make it about the ratchet shit. You know what I mean? There's some really, really powerful stories. Talk about why people make those decisions. So all that to say, what is popular dictating what people are consuming is dangerous, and we got to really be careful not to do too much of that. Get back to development. It's called artist development.
Yeah, listen, I don't even think that exists anymore in the game, because the way these artists do the interviews is like, have you ever had a conversation with anybody? But anyway, another conversation for another time.
Gatekeepers, right. That's a conversation for them.
With someone with so much foresight, so much wisdom, so many opinions, I'm sure you have come across people who disagree with you or just dislike you. So how do you handle that conflict within the industry?
Nobody disagrees with me. Not me. I'm the most agreeable person on the fucking planet. It's interesting because I'm working on a doc right now. Which I'm working on a documentary and it has a lot to do with me examining relationships in the past, creative ideas and endeavors in the past, and kind of where those things I might have missed the mark or whatever. And it's forcing me to go back and revisit some relationships and some situations where, I disagreed, the person may have disagreed. And I think, I really have decided that I want to be transparent about it. I want to be honest about it. I don't want it to be anger or hostility. I think that's crazy. I think nothing gets accomplished there. I never come from a place of anger. I'm a person who aligns my chakras and my balance. And if you come in my house, people are like, it's the Zen Palace because Buddha is everywhere, but I still believe in Jesus Christ. So holla at your girl. But I pride myself in protecting my peace at all costs. I don't care who you are in my life. I don't care who you are. This crib that we live in is going to be a peaceful place. And if you don't come in peace, you're not welcome. And I don't have a lot of energies in my space where I work exactly for that reason, because you absorb people's energies. And it's not always about people having bad intentions. And we talked about this earlier. Intention is everything. What a person's intention is everything. So people talk a lot about the issues, the disagreements that Selena Johnson and I have had over the years, which is a big, that's probably the most obvious or, popular disagreement that I've had in my lifetime because people watch it on television. I know, based on the relationship and the sisterhood that me and Selena had before things started going crazy, that it was never her intention to just be like, I'm just gonna, we're just gonna. And it was never, and I hope and I believe that she knows the same for me. Now, where you get into a situation where you feel like someone has ill intentions or a character flaw, and they're doing something because it only benefits them, and they know good and damn well that they're doing wrong, those are the situations where you just have to cut it off until you're in a place, which is where I am now with some people, where you can go in and really try and figure out how to either resolve or mend that relationship.
Yeah. Nice.
But I ain't arguing with nobody about shit at 50. Period.
I can't wait to earn my stripes. I'm gonna be just like that too.
No, and it's not arguing because I don't care. It's not arguing because we're in the middle of a pandemic. It's not arguing because I lost my best friend in the world and her son lost his mother. It's not arguing because I lost my mother and then 90 days later lost my father. It's not arguing because I understand that every moment of your life is a gift and it's something that could end at any time. So why in the entire fuck would you why in the world would you spend that arguing with somebody? Just find people who are part of your tribe who understand where you are and speak passionately. Don't argue.
Yeah, that's a part of your tribe. Somebody said, I ain't doing it at 33. Listen, I'm with you, sis.
Right.
While I have a moment, thank you so much, Chrissy Darling 83, for buying a badge. I see you, girl. But yeah, I was just having a conversation earlier with a colleague and a friend about specifically Megan Thee Stallion. And I promise you, a few months before her getting shot, we still don't fully know all the details, but I know enough to know I didn't like what I saw. And I feel like I almost called it, which is not something that I want to be happy about. But I just felt like she was too friendly. Like, you with too many different people. Like, every time you post a picture on Instagram, there's another clique of people you with. So the person that I was speaking to didn't see it that way. Like, oh, she's just friendly and we're Southern and Southern people, we just get along with people. She's new. She don't want to be seen as the mean girl. But you said something that I agree with, which is protecting your energy and protecting your peace. So Can we talk a little bit more about that? Like, I'm Christian, but I'm also spiritual, and I've gotten into like tarot readings a little bit more. I pay attention to the moon cycles and things of that nature, and that's all energy based, which I feel like in church we call it the Holy Ghost, but it's the same thing.
Yes.
So let's just talk more about, I guess, like how spiritual awareness, enlightenment can help you have a sustainable career.
I mean, I can talk specifically about how it's worked for me because I believe that we're all on an individual journey and there are things that have impacted our lives along the way that may change the way you receive what I'm about to say, right? But for me, it is about, it really has been, about reminding myself that when we listen to music, okay, let's say this. When we listen to music, right, brings about a lot of different emotions. It can take you back to like the fun times with your cousins at the house, and like you literally could just listen to a song and just zone out, right? And just be
Yeah.
like, damn, I remember Auntie such and such. You can almost taste the food when we
I was
hear
gonna say you could smell
hang
stuff.
all the
Yeah. The senses are
mistletoe.
activated.
That's we know, right? Right.
Yeah.
So music is the clearest example of the spirit, of an energy, of a vibration, right? So what helps me a lot is just putting the right vibration, the right music, getting into the right space spiritually. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're listening to chakras or jazz or gospel or whatever it is that really centers you, right? And then consciously reminding myself to breathe. I haven't done this in a long time, but I will say meditating and not, when people hear meditating, they think, oh, I ain't got time to meditate. Ain't nobody got time to, you know what I mean? But it really is just breathing. It is really taking the time to just inhale and count to whatever your number is. Mine is 11, and to exhale and count to whatever your and to not think about anything except I am feeding my body oxygen. I am feeding my body something good, and I'm slowing myself down, and I'm reminding myself to think from a place of a clear head. And the more you start to do that, the more I believe that you get in touch with your spirituality, and the more that I call it a layer of a force field, almost, so to speak,
Mhm.
where it's like
Mhm.
each time you grow in that space, that motherfucker get wider and wider and wider. And then it's like, okay, well, yeah, we cool. Hi, girl. Hey. No, 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 no. See, yep, you see that feeling you felt? I felt it too. You don't belong here right now today. So you so that energy, that same energy that you feel when you listen to music, you start to experience when you encounter people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you know if it's gonna be some heavy metal, okay, okay, okay. You know that's why they listen to crazy shit when they go do crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that we watch on Instagram, the stuff we consume in social media, that is all a vibration, and it is very real because we know music. Music will have somebody getting married or killing themselves, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that energy is something that you have to learn to protect and balance. And the only way you can do that is to stop and to breathe and to start getting your body and your mind and your spirit. I work out so much, not because I'm trying to be fine, which I am kind of really sort of at 50 trying to be fine
You
too.
fine,
But
sis.
but I work out more because it is just something that I had to condition myself to do for myself. It don't matter how much money you got. It don't matter how much you're struggling financially. If you take the time out to breathe for yourself and to get your oxygen and circulation, you are doing that for yourself, right? And it's free. And when you get that relationship with yourself where you're committed to doing things that help you, then you start to see things more clearly. And it's like the universe starts to bring things in front of you, and you're like, oh wow, well how did that? Oh wow, well see how that, and it just happens because you're balancing your energy.
Yeah. That was a perfect description. Period. Because I get people who are so confused by like intuition, or I'll just say little things. I could never find the words to explain it so simple. But I like the comparison to music. The same way we feel the vibes through the music, the more, like you said, we get in tune with ourselves, you can feel it on other people. So
Yeah.
perfect.
And
You
if you're out of
validated what
whack
I was
and
saying.
if you're taking everybody's opinion and everybody's idea, and if you're basing your life on what people see in you or what they don't see in you, and it's just crazy because you got all this
Yes.
energy that is not who you are. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Who we are is energy. We are spirit. And to discover more of that, we need more time with ourselves.
That was the perfect answer. And I want to thank you again. Listen, that answer was so good. Ant Relief. Ant Realize. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it, but you brought a bag. Thank you so much. She was
What
feeling
is
it,
buying a
sis.
badge? What does that mean, Bobby?
So
Y'all
girl,
millennials got to
Instagram,
teach
I guess
me.
it's trying to be like YouTube, or I think Facebook maybe even has it, where you can buy gifts for your favorite creators throughout the broadcast. So
I
they're actually
love it.
sending me like money, which I
Y'all
appreciate.
better send her some more badges. Listen, all these nuggets that y'all getting on my little sister show, y'all better send us some coins, even if it's $1. Don't even
Seriously,
send them me,
gems,
send them
okay?
her.
No, I definitely appreciate you coming on here sharing your wisdom. Like I said, as much as
Yes.
this helps the viewers, I'm really taking notes and confirming things that I've heard or getting more game from you. So I appreciate you sharing so freely and just looking out for
Oh,
us. What
Absolutely.
else are you working on, Queen? You done already told us you got a documentary in the works, but I know that's not it.
No, because I'm a multi-hyphenate. That's the other thing. I used to be afraid of doing a whole bunch of things because so often people who are used to structure get a little kind of weird about it. Like, oh, well, just focus on one thing. Don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none. I'm like, okay. I'm a master of a lot of things in my spirit, but I get it. So I have learned to understand the true meaning of what a creative is to what we spoke about earlier today. Being creative means that you have the ability to do a ton of things. I look at Amanda Seals with her high IQ having ass, and she's doing all kinds of dope shit.
I love her.
And we're just creatives, and so the beautiful thing about my chief of staff has a way of saying the Nicci ecosystem, which I love. I'm be using that more often now. The beautiful thing about this Nicci ecosystem is because everything for me is coming from an authentic and real place, it fits together like a puzzle when it fits, right? We were
Yeah.
on the phone yesterday talking about this doc, and I'm like, I got this doc, but then I got this scripted, film that was a film but has now become a series. And then we've got this, really awesome, incredible initiative with Fight for Worth. And then we've got the 90s, we got all these different things. And I believe that it's okay to pursue those as long as it feels organic and real and honest for you. I'm never going to go try to get nobody no shot. I can curl my own hair, but I'm not about to go become a hairstylist. I feel like a master of creativity is what I am accomplishing in my life, with purpose, creativity with purpose. So there's a big umbrella full of a whole bunch of dope shit in there. It might be something different tomorrow, Bobby. But C-Suite 5 is coming back.
Okay.
It is coming back. We have just been, there's this old saying in the industry, you throw shit up against the wall and see what sticks. Well, when
Yeah.
something sticks, you got to be like, oh, damn, I'm supposed to be doing this, but this is over here. So, you know what I mean? So the beauty of what it is if things have to shift or be put on hold or hiatus is cool. So we're working on this. The biggest thing I want to get out is this initiative, because it is bigger than me. It is bigger than anything I'm doing for myself. It is about empowering women like you, the little girl in Detroit, or the little girl in Houston or wherever, in her room writing stuff down and seeing this live. The people who are watching this live, right? Just giving them inspiration to just pursue their shit, because nobody can direct your path. What people can tell you is to center yourself so that you can see it clearly for your damn self, right? And anybody who tells you how to get there, listen, tell me how to write a hit record. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Because tell me what the lottery numbers is, since you know so damn much, right? There are people you can put in your life that can help facilitate your dreams and goals and help you manage them. But discovering them is a you thing. And it's okay to be in a bunch of different places figuring it out. So I'm still in a bunch of different places figuring it out. I really have a love-hate relationship with the term boss, or like somebody who's really got, because I'm still learning. I just have 26, 27 years worth of experiences in this industry to share. By the grace of God. You see, that didn't come from just Dusty. And I gotta make
Listen,
sure that
that
I
is
get
so
good use
fly,
out of
Queen.
it.
I love that you're not covering it up. I promise that is the
What I'm doing.
flyest. It's just a little streak right in the front. It's to say I'm here.
Oh, it's some on them edges too, but yeah, girl. I mean, what the heck? The thing that R&B Divas taught me is that people are going to talk shit about you as long as they don't know who you are.
Ooh.
And the minute they discover your greatness, they're gonna kiss your ass. Don't pay attention to either the ass kissing or the dogging out, because neither one of them define you. What defines you is the ability to get through whatever a person in the public eye or the general public says about you, and still feel like you have your self-love intact. And I'm so good there. So it's not shit anybody can tell me that can make me feel bad about me. I feel damn good about me. I don't feel good all the time. I go through depression like the next person sometimes when you lose things you love. But I am so rooted in accepting my greatness. And it ain't got to be the greatest. It's the greatest I can give to myself. My greatness don't got to be the greatest, baby.
Yeah.
As long as it's great for me and the people I love and care about, we good.
You got the best energy. I was like, we gotta do this live. Like the people need to see and hear these conversations that we have in private. Like you are the
Yeah.
best. Seriously, I
Oh,
really
thank you. You
appreciate you coming
too.
on
Light
here.
attracts light. Mm.
Yes, it does. It does. I appreciate you coming on here, spending some time with us, dropping your game, sharing your knowledge. Guys, if there are any questions you want to ask, now is the time.
Yeah,
I
ask
can't
away.
believe, look at who just popped in here. Samaya Reese. I hope I said your name
Hi,
right.
Samaya. So listen, Samaya Reese, I just ordered some Palo Santo from Samaya Reese.
Yes.
Support Black women in business, please. It smells awesome, sister girl. She's another warrior woman that I'm super, super proud of and would love to someday sit down and have a conversation with because she has overcome incredible, incredible shit. Like, I mean, not shit. I'm sorry, Samaya, but you know what I'm trying to say, girl. Incredible obstacles and odds. So I love it. When will you guys be performing? You know what's so funny? My grandson asked me, Nana, we're going to the grocery store. He's like, Nana, would you call the people and ask them when the COVID going away? I'm like, yeah, mama called the people and asked them. The lady beside me was cracking up. We all want to know when the COVID goes away. So my response to that is live. We are doing the Tom Joyner cruise, which is in November 2021, like about a year from now. We were supposed to be doing it right before COVID. So they just sent me some drops and some things that we have to do to promote that. So we're doing the Tom Joyner cruise. We are also in the studio, well, not in the studio physically right now, but just creatively listening to music and figuring out, what that feels like and looks like so that by the time we can hit the stage, we got some good shit for y'all because it ain't over for Brownstone. Follow at Brownstone Official. It ain't over.
Tap
The
in.
fat lady ain't sang yet, baby. We got still, honey.
Yes, definitely keep up with everything Nicci is working on. Go follow Brownstone. Go follow From the Bottom Up Foundation. Go follow No Ego TV. Follow her. Tap in. She is a force, okay? And if you're not on board,
Thank you.
doing, I don't know. Better get out the way.
Indeed.
In the account, no, that's right. Your team.
Brownstone is in the account. All right, come on. I see we got a team. I love it. Our team is working. Yeah, we're excited about Brownstone. There's also in this doc that we're working on. There's going to be a really beautiful story that unfolds with Brownstone and kind of our history and where we are today and where we're headed and all that. So exciting.
I love it. One more question from the floor. Someone wants to know about musical mentorship. What would be your recommendation?
Right. So what's really interesting, and if Tosha's still on here, she's gonna be like, shut it up. Don't even try it. But that is one of the things that I personally really want to start doing more of. We have another extension of She Speaks Live called She Sings Live. And I really want to just start having some conversations with young musical geniuses and people who are trying to develop their talent and their gifts and just share a lot of my experiences and listen to people and connect people. And that is also a part of our initiative in Fight for Worth. So I see a lot of great, dope things happening. My girl Tiffany just became the head of diversity at Sony. Felicia's, in diversity at the Grammys. Like, it's so much dope stuff happening right now for music, and I want to be a part of that. So follow me and pay attention because one day you'll look up and I'll be like, hey, y'all, I'm going to tell some stories and help y'all out.
Exactly. And Cliff, just to address.
And if you're a male, I'm sorry, men too. I will help men too.
I feel like the way mentorship works, of course, it's awesome if you can have personal relationship, like what you're witnessing between me and Nicci. But I also, and I'm sure she does too, have people that she admires and looks up to that you can study from afar. So I think, don't use access or the lack thereof as an excuse to not have somebody as your mentor. Because I claim people are
And I always answer questions. Mm-hmm.
The question has been asked twice. Will there ever be an R&B Divas reunion?
I hope so. I believe so. I feel R&B Divas, at 50 years old, I'm the oldest diva. Am I the oldest diva? Angie Stone may have me. At 50 years old, I am at a place where I feel like anything that is unresolved in my life, I need to figure out a way to resolve it. And R&B Divas is something that I've always felt was unresolved, and not unresolved for the reason a lot of people may think. It has very little to do with arguing and fighting and shit like that amongst the ladies. It's just the idea that something so amazing that people, every time I get on this live, people stopping me in the grocery store, something that was so incredible and amazing that was about women coming together to share their true experiences and document that and share it with people who enjoy them, was diluted by a desire to divide and to conquer. And I don't do very well with the idea of division and conquering women of color, girls. I will do my best to take your fucking head. I'm sorry.
Savage. She can't even control the savage.
I'm sorry. I will do my best to right those wrongs. And it makes me angry because so many relationships were destroyed. So if nothing else, for the sake of proving that we can come together and work through whatever those issues were, and that no culturally incompetent white male lens is going to destroy something so great and so divine, yeah, I'm working on that for that reason, because that sisterhood deserves the opportunity. But it has to be real, and it has to be honest.
So
I
there's your
see
answer,
Tosha. Oh
guys.
God, Tosha's over here gagging right now. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. But you know what? Listen, we got a president who says whatever he wants to say. Like I want to seriously apologize for profanity, because I speak passionately and I use that kind of language, and it's really not okay. It's really not. My grandson checks me all the time, so that's just something I'm working on.
Yeah. Before we go, talk to me about that experience. I love watching the videos of you and Braylon. I hope I'm saying the name right. His name is Braylon.
Yes, Braylon Maximus. Yes.
I love watching you guys. What is that experience like? Get to be a grandma.
It's the reason why I'm such a savage. It's the reason why I'm such a savage. You know, he said something to me the other day. We were sitting down, probably about a week or so ago, and we were going through. He's just understanding that Nana's kind of influential in some spaces, right? He's about to be 6 in April. So his little journey here, he was preemie, you know, it was a lot. It was just a lot, and he just has turned out to be like this really awesome, super smart, dope ass kid, right? So he says to me, Nana, are you famous? I said, well, I'm not really famous. I used to be. And so he was like, well, show me. So we go through YouTube, and I'm like playing these songs for him or whatever. So we play our If You Love Me version, right? And he's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, that's cool. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, but you probably know this version because I think it came out the year he was born. So I played the Tory Lanez version of it. Oh, yeah. He's like, no, play it again. Play it all the way through. He was into it, okay? Done, right? Disrespectful, right? But I think it's because he was familiar. But then he said, as we were going through and I was telling him about Michael Jackson, and I was showing him pictures of Michael Jackson, and, you know, because he's going to hear what the balance of what's there between him and my foundation, it will all go there. But he said, you make a lot of money from this, Nana. And I said, kind of, not a lot. You know, I said, but I'm going to work on figuring out why I'm making kind of not a lot. Because he deserves the same opportunities that the people that I've been working for the last 26 years, who are able to put their kids in the best schools, who are able to take family vacations and buy lake houses. You know, like my grandson deserves to reap the benefits of his Nana's 26 years in the industry. And the fact that he does not mean that he will not, because we're going to fight this fight until it turns into what it needs to turn into. But it just really makes me operate from a different place. When I see young Black men dying in the street, when I see what's happening in this election, when I see all the things that are happening, you know, it takes being a real grown ass woman and understanding generational legacy and generational wealth and generational curses to really understand how hard you have to fight and how much you have to work. And I just want future generations to arrive at that knowledge before they turn 50 years old, like me. I want them to know going in, right? Yeah, it's an industry that shows you all of this glitz and glamour, and you're distracted by the shiny shit. And TV is great, and you're a TV star and this and that. But if you don't have health insurance when you're 50, 60 years old, if your health is failing, if your finances are failing, if your life is not what you wanted to be or hoped that it would be when you were 20 years old and you signed that contract, then it's going to take a lot of people doing a lot of digging deep, being fearless, and getting to the bottom of this shit. I'm one of those people. For the sake of
From the
the
bottom
future
up,
generations.
period.
That's it, from the bottom up. That's it.
Well, again, thank you, Nicci, so much for making time
You're
for us tonight,
welcome.
guys. Please go follow her, Nicci Gilbert, Brownstone Official, from the bottom up. No Ego
Yes.
TV. Go tap in. And Marquise, thank you so much. You got it in just at the last second.
Yes.
Thank you so much for buying the badge. I appreciate everybody who tuned in.
Support Bobby Penn. Buy her badges. Buy her badges.
Yes.
She's not talking crap about celebrities behind their back and dogging them out. She's having real conversations where y'all could really learn something. So support this sister because she's doing it. And thank y'all for watching.
I appreciate it. Because I'm like, I know these videos would go viral if I had you on here talking crazy, but you actually dropping some games.
See, if I was like, I can't stand that bitch, and when I see her, I'm gonna beat her ass. Exactly. And let's pick on a clip for you. When I see that bitch, I'm gonna beat her. Now you play that clip, they might watch the whole thing.
I'm gonna edit it and put it at the beginning.
Tosha is cringing right now. Shout out to Big Meech. That's one of my friends since high school. I gotta say this real quick because Big Meech came on here. I know I gotta go. I'm long-winded as hell. But I got a long career in life of shit to talk about. Susan's story. When we're talking about race, right? I just want people to consider this, right? Our drama teacher, La Trope, Susan's story, was a white woman. And she sowed so much positivity and so much love and so much greatness in us. Don't believe that every white person is good, and don't believe that every black person is good. Don't believe every white person is bad. Don't believe every black person is bad. That's it.
That's it.
Susan's story.
Rules to live by.
People are people.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Please watch the playback if you're just missing it. And yeah, we're gonna keep it coming all week. We've got more celebrity spotlights, and then I do this on the regular too. So if you haven't followed me, go ahead and click that. And until next time, see ya.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you. Bye.